Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to create a Ukraine-Russian war news app. So for this I'm going to use this Ukraine War Live API. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, so when you get to this link, make sure you have subscribed. Then you will get your own personal API key, or you can use my own key. I'll put the code in the description. Okay, so I'm going to use Python, and next we are going to install a package named request. So open your terminal and write pip install request. Okay, so as you can see, I have already installed it. Next we are going to need to import the package, import request, and next we are going to need to import takinter. From takinter, import star means everything. We are going to import everything. Next I'm going to need a URL or our API. So as you can see, we have a different programming language here. So click this and select Python request. Okay, so you can see here the code. I'll copy the URL, paste this. This will be our API. Okay, so we'll get news from all sources, so we'll use this URL. Okay, so next I'm going to copy the headers. We will have our personal key in this header, so you can see my key in the header. Okay, so next we are going to create a window equals tk and window dot main loop. This will create a window. Okay, let's test this. Okay, so you can see my window here, it's still blank. Okay, so next we are going to need to create a button. Before that, I'll set the window size, window the geometry, and inside quotes 1200 into 700. I'll give a window title as Ukraine Russian war news. Okay, so next we are going to need to create a button equals button. I'll put this inside my window and set the text to load. This button will load our news, and set the font to bell empty and the font size to 30. Okay, so next I'll give a command to this button as show news. We still haven't created that function. Okay, so next I'm going to pack this button dot pack. Okay, so next we are going to need a label to hold all our news headlines. So label equals label. I will put this inside my window and set the font to Arial. Our font size will be 12, and we'll pack this label dot pack. Okay, and I'll pad y as 20. Okay, so next we are going to create the show news function. So at the top of the project, I create the function show news. Okay, for now I'll write fast to check if our window works. Okay, so you can see our window and our load button. So we need to increase the width of this button. So width equals 100. Okay, so you can see it fill up our window. So inside the show news function, I'll delete the pass code, and I need to create a response from the API. Response equals request dot get. We'll get our URL and our header will be headers, and we'll convert this into a JSON file. And next we are going to need to edit our text in the label as label.config, and text will be equal to headlines space and next response, and I'll go back to my API. So make sure you click the test endpoint and it will give the JSON file. Okay, so make sure it's all values, and then you can see we have a list, and inside that list we have dictionaries. So we need this, so this will be our first list, and this will be the key of our first list, and it is title. We have URL and we have the source. Okay, so we'll put this as 0, our first list, and the key of our first dictionary will be title plus, we'll include the source in here too, source plus response, our first list, and this should be source. Okay, so in between we'll create a new line in, and this will create a new line for us. Okay, so our source is in here, and let's test this if it works. Okay, we need to make sure we have give the correct name for this title. Okay, so you can see my headline and the source will be the Guardian. So we can give a lot of headlines for this. So next I'm going to create a new line, in, and plus I'll copy this from headlines to our new line. Okay, so why don't we give 2 lines, as this will be a new headline. So I'll copy this whole thing. And I'll paste this for a headline too. So headlines, this should be first, and our source should be also first. So let's see if this works. So there's an error somewhere here. Okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, so we have invalid syntax, so there's a plus in here. Okay, so load, and you can see our second headline here. I'll copy all of this. About 7 times, 6 and 7. Okay, so I'll copy this 8 times, and second, third, fourth, fifth. This will be our 6th, 7th and our 8th list. So make sure you change the source to. Okay, so make sure you do remove the plus at the end. Okay, so in order to organize this, why don't we align this to our left? So justify will be left should be all capitals. Yeah, so I'll run this and load. Okay, so you can see our headlines, the source, and every time this API will update according to the war. So we have just created a Ukraine-Russian war news app, and all the headlines and the sources are there. So this is the end of the project, and thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe and like this video.